My first question is, we could see elections as soon as July now, but will anything actually change?
We could, but I don't think we will. I think there is an awareness among the various parties that elections at the end of July are maybe not a very good idea for this country, which doesn't like to do much in summer. And there is reconsidering their positions on the side of the League and the Five Stars movement. They went as far as asking for the impeachment of the president for not having approved of their candidate for finance minister. And now they're backing and they're saying, well, maybe we're exaggerating a little bit because they really went too far. There was no point in trying to impeach the president, honestly.
Do you think Mattarella made the wrong decision?
I don't think he made the wrong decision because this gentleman, Paolo Savona, who is a professor, is notoriously anti-Euro. Italy cannot afford the suspicion of wanting to sneak out of the Euro. This is intolerable from various points of view. It's a founding member of the European Union. It's a founding member of everything EU, and it is not possible, honestly.
Many are saying that this now upcoming election, whenever it may be, is an informal referendum on Italy's place in the European Union. Do you agree?
To a certain extent, yes. Yes, I do agree. It will amount, for the most part, to a referendum on whether Italy will stay or leave the European Union. And in that respect, I'm quite optimistic. But then with whom will Italy stay inside of the European Union is also to be decided.
You're quite optimistic, meaning you think Italians want to stay in the Eurozone?
Yes. Italians, in spite of the hardship of, following the rules that the euro requires, the single currency requires, I think Italians culturally and from other points of view in their majority want to stay.
So why do you think the League, as you were saying earlier, want such a quick election then in July instead of the autumn?
Because they feel they are growing. They feel that their position, especially the anti-immigrant position, is growing. They have, interestingly, transformed from a regional party that wanted secession from the south of Italy into a national party that fits in the European landscape of Madame Le Pen, of the Alternative for Germany, of the Democrats in Sweden, and Nigel Farage, who managed to get Britain out of the European Union.
So this next election would be about Salvini really growing his power?
Yes. That would be the other item. And actually exiting from the euro will coincide with how much Salvini gains, because he more or less openly has a plan to exit from the euro and to not pay the debt.
What is the most worrisome scenario for a fresh election?
The most worrisome scenario would be precisely that Forza Italia, which is a reasonable conservative force, believe it or not, even though Berlusconi is still around, but Berlusconi, with regards to Europe, is a reasonable man.
Yeah, and I read that he can actually run now for parliamentary seats.
Yes, and the Democratic Party lose further ground to the advantage of the two so-called populists and maybe the right-wing neo-fascists, and that would deliver Italy to very dangerous slope, because it would be a lot worse than Greece, because in the case of Greece, nobody really wanted to exit from the European Union. Everybody was fully aware that even though the price was exorbitant, staying in the European Union was the best option for the country, maybe for their children, not for themselves, but for their children. This awareness also exists in Italy, but it is more borderline.
What do you think would be better from the market point of view? An earlier election, maybe for some just stability in the sense that it would come soon and won't be this angst of waiting, or an election in autumn where we have some months to prepare for?
I don't think stability depends on the election, but depends on the signals that are sent from Italy. If people that the international markets know and trust are appointed, then the situation will improve almost automatically, maybe not immediately. On the other hand, if uncertainty prevails, then the situation will grow worse and worse.